All right, guys, Josh Henkin here, creator of the Ultimate Sandbag Core Training Systems. Again, joined by our good friend Sarah Gwynn from Iron Figure Fitness. So now we're going to start showing you how you can optimize the Strength Ultimate Sandbag. A lot of times people think that basically they're just basing everything off of weight. So we're going to show you that the principles do not change the program, but some of the components of the Ultimate Sandbag are quite unique, such as now we have more of a dimensional component in the Ultimate Sandbag. So what we've done is try to load our Ultimate Sandbag at first to a weight that's very similar to what Sarah was using, the power bag. So that can be done by filling it with a lighter implement such as rice or other things. So now we want to focus more primarily on the dimensional changes, which changes also the stability of the bag itself. So we're going to start off first is what we call Bearhug Squat. So Sarah's going to cup her hands underneath. She's going to accelerate the bag into what we call our clean position. Now, what she's going to do, very importantly, is hold those shoulders down and back. She's got a good wide stance. She's going to push her knees out and try to descend deep into the squat position. Nice, Sarah. As she goes down, you don't want to lose tension in between those shoulder blades. That's going to keep her low back in good alignment and keep her weight back on her heels. So for people that have traditionally had problems with their knees and low backs, this is going to be a lot better exercise. However, if I have her go and I'll bring the bag up and wrap it around, she can also make it easier like so. Now, granted, some people don't like the weight in the face, but if your bag is too unstable and starts to fold over, she's going to be battling too hard in her upper back. She's not going to be able to target her legs. So having both filler bags in there at a lighter degree is much more helpful. So we'll come back down, we'll drop it back down. Nice, and drop it. Nice, Sarah. Good. All right, let's drop it on down. Now, once you've done that, you probably want to reshake your bag out a little bit. Not a lot of super technique with this, just make sure the weight's a little more evenly distributed. So now we're going to do our clean and press again. You go, Josh, we just did the clean and press in our first workout, isn't this a beginner exercise? Not really, because as the stability of the bag changes, you're going to find that your technique has to be more refined. And what you're going to find too is you have more different patterns of instability to deal with, not only with the body refining the dimension of the bag, but the fact that the weight's going to sit on your fists and the weight's not going to sit evenly. So you may have 40 or 60% on either hand, you may have 70-30, it's really a different change. So what Sarah's going to do is she's going to now grab the neutral grip handles, keep it close to her body. We really refine that hinge motion, so she's going to sit back, she's going to power the bag right up to her fists. So very important the bag stays close to her body. From here she locks her legs, everything's in place, she's going to drive the bag over her crown again. And see how the bag is kind of floppy? It looks like she probably has more weight through her right arm than her left right now. Is that about right, Sarah? And we'll bring it back down the chest, and we'll push the hips back. Perfect. So now when she performs this press and the clean for that fact, she not only has to work on basically pressing the more unstable bag up and balancing it, but the fact that it's not evenly loaded on her body. Nice job, Sarah. Perfect. So it's really going to clean up your clean as well, sorry for the pun, and make sure you're making a very vertical pull and not having the weight come out in front of you. If the weight's coming out, you're not going to be able to do appropriate cleans. Now what we're going to do is a staggered deadlift. Now, here's why we're doing a staggered deadlift. A lot of people want to do deadlifts with sandbags. That's great. It's really for very beginner level training, because as the bags get heavier, the dimension changes and you reduce the range of motion on the pull. So we can actually make a same weight bag feel heavier if we go to that staggered position again. So she's perfect. Back leg, so toes in line with heel, heels off the ground. She's going to start the bag very close to her body, and very important that she grabs those neutral grips, because that's going to keep her thoracic spine in place. She's going to extend through those hips. Perfect. And then she's going to hinge back. She's going to tuck the chin just a little bit. So now it becomes almost like a one-legged deadlift. So it's a great way to start building that stability from side to side, because the weight distribution of the bag across her body, that hip has to balance her so she doesn't rotate either. So it's a great way to get more out of that deadlift position at a lighter load. Nice job, Sarah. So now we're not going to have her move too far. We're just going to have her flip the bag on over. We're going to use the snatch handles, but we're going to go palms up. So we're going to do what's called a supinated grip. Now, a supinated grip allows us to use a little bit more load because the biceps are a little more heavily involved. We're going to put her back in that stagger stance just to give her a little bit instability. You could definitely do this from a bilateral stance. She's going to pull up and towards that navel and then down slow. So again, very crucial now as the weight gets heavier or larger that you don't start rounding that low back, and we don't see shrugging of the shoulders. So the great thing about starting the supinated position when you're going a little heavier is it allows you to keep those shoulders down and back a little bit easier. Nice, Sarah. So now we're going to get her to the ground. We're going to help her out a little bit. She's going to go ahead and lie across the ground. I'm going to have her grab onto the neutral grip handles if she can. There you go. So you can definitely do presses from this position, and anything in this supine position. She can work a lot of tricep. She's going to have her arms locked out. She's going to extend her legs back out And what we're going to do is very simple leg lifts. Now, her job is to keep the pelvis stable on the ground, so we don't want to see that low back arching. What we're trying to use with the bag is it has her from using her upper body to crunch into the motion, also puts more stress upon the lower abdominals because she's having to resist more load. If this was too hard, she could definitely bend her knees a little bit or reduce the amount that she's moving her legs up and down. So this is a great exercise to teach that shoulder locked position, how to hold the weight overhead, and also how to lock in the low back and the pelvis to use that lower abdominal musculature. Nice job, Sarah. So we're going to come back up, and the last one we're going to finish off is a high pull. So the reason we're going to use a high pull at the end is it's not very technically demanding, but it's going to teach us the components that we're going to need to do other exercises like shouldering, proper cleans, and snatches. So again, make sure that you start with those neutral grip handles. It's not a barbell. Don't go pronated. She's going to accelerate the weight just up to her chest and quickly accelerate right back down. Nice. Now what you're going to find with the ultimate sandbag is the weight almost does a little bounce effect at the top, so you really have to be proficient at kicking those hips right back. Do not try to hang out at that top position. The bag will always win. It'll overstress the shoulder girdles, and you're trying to accelerate the hips in the lower body. So this is a way to introduce your strength ultimate sandbag. Strength is a great starting point for a lot of trained men or people that have progressed through some of the other series. So take this, try it, and see how ultimate sandbag training starts shaping and developing more progressive movements, and see us more at dvrtfitness.com.